Yo, Chill Crew, welcome back to the channel. And for those of you that are new, thank you for kicking it with the Chill Crew. Now today I'm just gonna dive right into it, man. We got a cool game we gotta talk about. It's called Moon Mystery. Now, the moon's haunted, and when an astronaut loses contact with Earth, the adventure begins in full. Fill up your oxygen, load up the guns, and set out on an interstellar FPS adventure across the stars, filled with puzzles, fights, exploration, and strange secrets of the universe. Now, this game was developed by Cosmo Scouts. And in this video, we're going to discuss a couple of things. We're going to talk about my initial thoughts around the game, why I played this in the first place, the gameplay, and we'll circle back around and talk about, is this even the game for you? Now, let's just go ahead and get into it with the initial thoughts. The game seemed cool visually. Right, I came across it on YouTube and I saw the content. I was like, whoa, Moon Mystery. This looks kind of interesting, man. We got to check it out. And the graphics is what drew me in, right? The texture mapping, some of the space. And we'll talk more about this in depth as we dive into the gameplay. But this really looked cool. I love the atmosphere. I like the way the weapons look, some of the vehicles, some of the tools that we were able to use. I thought was pretty cool. I'm into like techs and gadgets and things like that. And then there's the moon, right? Just look at it. The whole area of the moon is nice. And then we had some vehicles that we could check out. I saw the sea vehicle in the video. I was like, whoa. What is that? What is that ocean stuff? What is the space stuff? What is this land stuff? What's going on here? It just is what it is. I mean, these are the type of games I like, right? Whether it's story-driven, RPG, and I don't care what kind of RPG, CRPG, JRPG, I don't care. All the RPGs, I want them all. You know what I'm saying? I like it all. But the action games too, something I dive into on this channel. I've been doing that since games existed. To be honest with you, I'm pretty old. But everything from graphics usually play high on my list, right? I love graphics in video games. That's really huge for me personally. Now, I'm not leaning into graphics in every single game that I play. Pixel art games are pretty cool. I come from the NES, the original NES, Atari versions where they were just pixel art games, pixel games all over the place, right? That's kind of what I do. But I do lean into graphics being a major driver in some of the games that I do choose to play, including this one. But then there's also roguelike games, turn-based tactic games, and RTS games that I like to play as well. Some of those are on the channel currently. But I want to get to the point of, why did I even play this? What was the goal? What were we looking for? What do we want to do with this? And so I reached out to the devs because I was intrigued and wanted to do a review on the whole game. Now, I'll be honest with you all. I was going to buy the game, but then I pressed pause. I was like, hold up. Let me see if I can reach out to them and maybe they check out the channel and hit me up with something like a key demo, maybe early access or just a brief playthrough of the game, something that would let me sink my teeth into it and bring you all some of this content. Now, they did more than that. They sent me a key and I was like, whoa, this is cool. So when I got the key, loaded it up and started playing it, and pretty much enjoyed it, and we'll talk about more of that in the video. But the reason why I reached out is mainly because of the space exploration. I love space exploration. I think most of us as kids, young kids, teenagers, whatever, we always thought about what it would be like to be in space. Whether it's, diving into Star Trek and Star Wars and looking at other movies and video games that we've played and realize like, hey, that's something cool. That atmosphere, being up there in the stars is pretty awesome, right? And it also, for me, just cemented why I should check out this game, just because I love that kind of stuff. Also, it's a single player game. So I don't always like depending on people to play games. Sometimes it's cool, but you have to worry about if they're online or if you connect with other people online, load times, wait. This one, I just wanted to get in it, play it, see what was up, finish it, call it a day. And then there's the graphics, as I mentioned before, and I probably mentioned throughout this game more time, or throughout this video more times, is the graphics, man. It looks really cool. So I had to reach out and say, let me play this, man. The futurist mindset in me wanted to dive in to see what the tech gadgets were like, working with some of the weapons, driving some of the vehicles. I just wanted more of that. And so, yeah, my inquisitive nature kicked in and the curiosity was there, so I wanted to check it out. So let's talk about the game. I showed you a couple of clips already of the game as I was talking through, but let's talk about the gameplay. It's interesting. It's an interesting game, and I'll break that down. I spent about 12 hours playing this game. It's a pretty short game. I wouldn't say it's long, so even if you chose to dive into it, you wouldn't have to spend a lot of your time doing that. I think it might be roughly an 8-hour game, 8-hour, 9-hour game for most of you who kind of push through it and kind of just move a bit faster than I did. But I took some time to look around the atmosphere, take some screenshots, move methodically through the game, kind of get a feel for it as a whole. But the game does leave quite a bit to be desired. It's not something I would say you're gonna most gamers will pick up and enjoy and kind of play for a long time. It does get a bit mundane and melancholy throughout this as you play. It's not something that's constantly action packed, nice music, on to the next level, enemy, puzzle, boss, move. It's kind of a slow pacing game that's very methodical in its approach to space exploration and just being alone. I think that's what this game does really well, is showing you what it's like to be alone and by yourself, right? And with technology, AI robot stuff. Now, as I said before, the graphics do play a whole major part of this game. Again, just being alone on the moon and teleporting through the different levels is pretty cool. But the atmosphere that they're able to cause when you're by yourself is pretty cool. I mean, the realism of space. Now, let's be honest. It's kind of a space video game, so there are limitations. But I mean, come on. It's a space feeling atmosphere in a video game about space, being in space. I mean, walk with me here. It's okay. We got limitations, but it's still a pretty cool game. Now, with that being said, I love being on the moon and teleporting through different levels. It was pretty cool. It is what it is. So that part of the game, I think you'll enjoy, just kind of traversing different levels and moving through the atmosphere as you uncover more mysteries throughout the story. But I think what really shines for me is the simplicity of the weapons. The weapons here, there are several weapons that you can sort of make at the 3D printer, which is really, really cool. But I think the few categories are what make it an easy pickup and something that most people will be able to play through without the pressures of learning too much about weapons and things of that nature. Now, you have assault rifles, sniper rifles, shotguns, pistols, and light machine guns. Now, each of these comes with a set of attachments for them, from scopes to suppressors to lights and barrel attachments, and they all do different things. You can increase your damage, you can increase your mobility, and different attributes on specific weapons, but it's not too complex. Now, I know for those who like to play the Call of Duties and the Black Ops and Modern Warfare, though Delta Force as well is coming out, but those games, you can go really in depth on your attachments, your mods, changing patterns, color, skins, weapons, all that crazy stuff is in there, right? That's not here. So just be mindful that this is a pretty simple weapon inventory system that allows you to pick up weapons and switch on the go to adapt your playstyle, right? You can essentially use a sniper rifle for enemies long range when you get into those kind of levels, and it does do a really good job of having the print weapon stations where you need them. Like if you're dying, say for instance you have a weapon station and you go forward and you die, you can restart, change your weapon and say, hey, I need a heavy machine gun, or I need a light machine gun, my apologies, a light machine gun or rifle or sniper rifle, assault rifle, pistol, whatever it may be. You can switch it up and then go on with the game. Now, I would not say that outside of that, the puzzles, as we're diving into next, the puzzles aren't a head scratcher. Okay, you're not going to get something complicated out of here. It just isn't that way. Now, for those who are from the true puzzle era of gaming, I'm talking about NES, Sega, PlayStation, may find this to be a little too novice. There are like one or two puzzles in this game that may cause you to think a little bit harder. It's only one or two. It's not that many. But if you like puzzle games, you might not enjoy this. This, again, I think is a very easy game for those to pick up, and it may be, for the new gamer or someone who's just like, hey, I just want to play something just to kind of fill my time a little bit. But outside of all of that I mentioned, there are this variation of vehicles. Okay, now we talk about the variation of vehicles. You have the rovers. Now let's be honest. You've taken one rover, you've taken them all. I couldn't see a difference between the space rover that we get introduced to at the beginning of the game, the moon rover, to any of the rovers we had before or in the past or in the future, however this game is working. It seems to be this. I'm not going to talk about the story, but the other vehicles that we use, whether it's the gray buggy that we use on one area or the other kind of buggy that we use to go on another level, like the vehicles I don't think were that much different, so there's no real variation there. Now when you talk about space, you can't do that without spaceships. Now this game, I understand the developers were like, hey, let's do something real, and in space they don't typically just turn. There's no wheels or roads or anything like that. They would, I guess, use air to move the vehicle, to move the shuttles around. But in this game, it was very difficult. Now, I understand the devs wanted to make something real. But when I moved up, it like went up or down or around and over here. And I was like, yo, I cannot handle this right now. It was mind-numbing. It was just like, bro, why do I have to do this? Even when I wanted to shoot at a target, I had to steady, move it around and try to figure out how to get that thing right and then shoot, right? It was I just wanted to be over, to be honest with you. So you all might find that difficulty as well in there. Maybe I could adjust the mouse settings, maybe to make it a little bit less sensitive to moving. Maybe that would have helped. But the one I did enjoy the most was the Ocean Sea Vessel. Okay, that was really cool. It felt good to move in the water and to shoot the torpedoes off. And it was a very beautiful atmosphere to be in. You felt like you were in there. And then there's the being able to change the view, so you can go inside the vehicle, which just increased the immersion, so to speak, of these atmospheres, which was really, really, really cool to see. So, as the gameplay goes, I'll say this. If you're looking for a game that lets you feel what it's like to be in space and walk around using cool non-space future weapons, okay, this will work for you. Okay, the game, the weapons are pretty simple. The space exploration, moving is pretty regular stuff. It's not anything groundbreaking or extreme, right? It is what it is. You'll like it. For players who want to sit back and relax with an easy game that doesn't offer much difficulty and is a single player, this is for you as well. I would say that. Yeah, if you're looking for single player, if you're looking for an easy walkthrough, something that kind of piques your interest a little bit, this is for you. Even the enemy variety, right? It's not too complex. You don't have to spend your brain power trying to learn new enemies all the time. You got a few robots, you got a few bosses, easy peasy lemon squeezy, keep moving, right? It is what it is. And if you're looking for something that's AAA worthy with a lot to offer, skip this one and hold your bad review. Please, just do me that favor. If you want a fantastic story that's well crafted with twists and turns that keep you in the action with gripping events that leave you wanting more, this isn't for you. This game doesn't shine in that area, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game. I think I enjoyed this game for many reasons, as I already said before. I wanted something quick to play through. It looked cool. It felt good to be in the atmosphere. It's nice. The developers did a good job designing a game. It's cool. To me, it's fun. It had good graphics. It is what it is. But for some of you all who want more out of a game, expect more from dev teams, or there are bigger dev teams providing with better content, that's where you go to get that. This is a smaller dev team. It is what it is. We know that, right? It presents us with an opportunity to see, what's up in the space realm, control some cool drones, vehicles, spaceships, and even play a game with our AI companion. It's a simple game with a familiar approach. This is what I call like a game filler. It's something you play in between waiting on something to come out. Now, is this the game for you? Well, if you like AAA games, in-depth storylines, twists and turns, a vast skill tree, weapon options, and a game that offers more than the norm. Skip this one. Yeah, skip this one. It's a fun little game by a team, and it provides some fun in a mediocre fashion. If you want to support smaller teams, play a decent game with a baseline plot, and run around on a moon and fly through space, then I say buy it. At the end of the day, it's about having fun, okay? And if you do that when you play a game, then every game is great. And if you think about picking up this game, let me know, because I want to hear from you. I truly, truly do. But yeah, with that being said, I appreciate y'all being here. I appreciate you listening to me talk. Whether or not I rambled on or not, it is what it is. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. Let me know either way. I appreciate all the feedback. But yeah, until then, Chill Crew, you know what to do. Stay cool. Peace.